Process steps. On this form, you will list the steps taken to process your product from catching to unloading and identify the hazards associated with each step. The processing step form is preloaded with the standard process steps, their hazards, and the SOPs to control hazards. Process steps have been sorted into the order in which they will occur on most vessels. Check that each processing step is relevant to your vessel. You may need to add or remove processing steps. Each processing step is split into 3 sections. The first section contains the name and description of the processing step. You can change the order of a processing step by selecting it from the grid, then use the up and down buttons to reorganize it. By clicking the plus symbol next to the processing step name, you will expand the second section. This contains hazards associated with the processing step. By clicking on the plus symbol next to the hazard type, you will expand the third section. This section contains the SOPs that will control the hazard. To edit or enter a new processing step, select the processing step that you wish to edit, or the cell at the bottom of the grid for a new processing step. Enter the new or change the existing processing step name. Enter the new or change the existing description for this processing step. Assigning hazards to each processing step. Expand the processing step. From the lookup, select the potential hazard type that may occur. Enter the potential cause of this hazard. If this hazard could make a person critically ill or cause death if it occurs and is not detected, it is a critical hazard. Check the significant for food safety checkbox. Enter the control measures that you have put in place to prevent this hazard from occurring, and how these control measures will determine if the product is retained or discarded. Select the type of control point that this hazard is. A control point is where the hazard will not make a person critically ill or cause death. Critical control point is a point, step, or procedure at which controls can be applied to the food safety hazards to eliminate or reduce them to acceptable levels. The most common critical control point is cooking, where food safety managers designate critical limits. Quality control point is a point where the quality of the product could be affected. Regulatory control point is where a point is required by law. For each hazard, you need to assign the SOPs that will prevent, eliminate, or reduce them to acceptable levels. Expand the hazard. Select all SOPs that will control this hazard. To delete any item from the grid, collapse the item if it is expanded. Select the item you wish to delete from the grid. Click on the Delete button. Confirm that you wish to delete the item. Repeat these actions for each processing step. Click on the Next button when you have reviewed all processing steps.